Hello, and welcome to this InvestGlass presentation. Thank you for attending this presentation where we'll show you a basic walkthrough of InvestGlass, but most importantly, how you can build a bank CRM in 30 minutes. Thank you very much for attending this presentation. This presentation will be recorded, and if you wish to have the documents at the end, the different templates, please let us know. So today's agenda will be first, what is InvestGlass, how we're going to use the templates for the CRM and templates for the forms, the record permissions, the most used automation, the portal and API, and of course, how can you connect and learn more with InvestGlass. So first, what is InvestGlass? InvestGlass is a Swiss cloud platform where you can manage all of your work into one single Swiss hosted solution. Obviously, InvestGlass connects also to your favorite CRMs and portfolio management tool, but you can also leverage our tool. Our goal is to help you work faster, better, and obviously with more accuracy. Our goal is to help you to make all your daily tasks easier and more fun. This means that you will have with InvestGlass a power which will be delivered for the perfect workflow to make your work easier and your team work together, communicate better, and obviously to have all your colleagues progress together. As you will see during this walkthrough, we are all about transparency with investglass.com. We will show you how it works, what you can expect to have in the product. We want to make sure that your teams will focus more on what is really important, what really matters, and less on all those emails. And obviously working remotely as we are all now, emails are killing our days. So let's see how we can solve that with automations. As we have clients in most financial industries, you see from private equity, family office, neobank, retail bank, cryptocurrencies, I'm sure that you'll find within InvestGlass the templates that will help you to progress and make your business successful. InvestGlass is based on subscription base, ranging from 50 Swiss francs to 300 Swiss francs. Today, we're going to focus on the offer at 300 Swiss francs, which is the most, I would say, complete, and obviously what you really need if you are building a bank or a complete asset management solution. This year, we will have three ways of communicating with our clients. The brick and mortar, which is the traditional face-to-face type of meeting, which is becoming very difficult. And partly for you guys today, I see you participating. You have accounts and clients all over the world, from Panama to Singapore, from Norway to South Africa, and of course, obviously in Europe and in the Middle East. You need a tool that will help you do more than basic brick and mortar. Then comes the hybrid. InvestGlass Hybrid is very interesting because it's a way to have the paper and the digital tools working together. So if you are, I would say, afraid or perhaps reluctant to use a digital tool, you can still use paper and have the InvestGlass digital experience completely working in harmony. And then the do-it-yourself, obviously, you know what we are talking about. We're talking about robo-advisor. We're talking about the client doing his self-onboarding. During this year, last year in 2020, we successfully deployed 450 users, mostly in private bank, asset management, and in private equity. So even with this COVID-19, we successfully deployed complex projects. Before we dive into InvestGlass, I want to share with you what is InvestGlass' current mindset. First, we want to help you have the minimum budget in terms of RFP, request for proposals. Usually this is killing your budgets, partly when you're starting a bank or when you're starting an asset management business. Here, InvestGlass will help you to screen through the different providers, either providers we are already using or providers you might be suggesting to us. The idea here is that we test quickly. And if it works quickly. If it fails quickly too. Like this, we can reiterate and find a better provider or a better solution or a better process. Then, as you'll see into InvestGlass, with InvestGlass templates, and this is why we're talking about building a bank in 30 minutes, is that we'll say even over 20 templates that you can use and reuse and adapt to your business specificities. And here you'll save a lot of time. Then there's the ease of implementation with our success coach. The team now has 5 success coach within InvestGlass that can collaborate with your own teams, but also with your consultants that you will be using for the deployments. Then we are obsessed with InvestGlass to have short time to market and of also a payment of the build in phases. Why? Because as we are actually building a bank CRM, we might find out that some blocks, some process might be blocked by things that we might have not foreseen at the beginning. Having the concept of phases and have it short time to market will make sure that we are actually deploying the right solution for you, satisfying what you expect to see into your day-to-day task with InvestGlass. Then our specialty, and obviously this is because of COVID situation, we found ways also to deploy and test with a minimum staff engaged from your side. I think this is very important because your staff, as well, I see here, most of you are working with into the asset management business or the banking. Your staff is working remotely. You cannot have people in the same room, or it's very difficult, or they're working from Zoom or Teams. It is important also that you have a team with InvestGlass to whom you can discuss with and can react very quickly if you need to deploy and test some specific functions. Then InvestGlass has strong private banking references in Europe, in the Middle East, but also in Latin America and Asia. We are glad to share with you this on a private basis. And obviously now we are doing some quarterly penetration tests. This is mandatory, obviously, when we are dealing with banks regulated under FINMA, IMF, FCA, and so forth and so on. So now that's enough say. Let's dive into InvestGlass and see how this looks like. So we will go today in a series of screens where we will show you how it looks like from inside the application. And we will go into a sequence, which is usually the sequence that you are using when you set up InvestGlass for the first time. The very first time of InvestGlass, you might have what we call custom fields or fields that are already into your CRM. InvestGlass is a flexible CRM, which means that you can create your own fields and decide based on different types of rules, based on different types of visibility and record permission, who can see those fields. You can create fields for different objects, contacts, relations, accounts, products, portfolio, securities, and create your own value sets. This is very helpful. For example, I have for a broker based in Athens, you wanted to have the name of the country first starting with Greece and not starting with Afghanistan. With InvestGlass flexibility, you can build this type of layouts very easily. So how this looks like, this is a type of page that you'll have to customize or that are pre-customized with InvestGlass existing templates. Here, the concept is to make sure that you record the right information at the right time in the right format, but most importantly, that you also cope with different types of regulation, such as the GDPR or the future Swiss regulation on transparency of data. This system is highly sophisticated, but in the same time, once you start using it, you'll find your way very quickly to say in which pages you want to show which field and what type of attribute you want to set this field. Very importantly here also, InvestGlass is natively connected with an API, which means that if you're using another solution already to collect, for example, business cards, scanning business cards, and you want everything to be sent into InvestGlass, you have here the key of the API to actually do a seamless integration. Once you created the field, usually you start creating your team. So this is your members, your colleagues. As you'll find, each member Each team member will have a different role, a different function, and it will be possible to set for each user what we call a visibility tag. This is very important because obviously you don't want everyone in your company to see everything. By using this system, you will enforce a restriction of visibility on each record. Let's put it another way. Fernando will only be able to see clients basically based in Latin America, high net worth individuals, and then not the clients that are based here in Geneva. This system of record permission is very sophisticated and goes from organization-wide default to a single member record permission. This is very helpful if you wish to restrict, for example, the visibility while one of your your colleague, is visiting a country where he should not see all the clients. Then the customization, and this is mostly for medium-sized to large-sized type of accounts and companies and organizations. You can set up for each role, so for example, an admin or user, which page and which action are allowed. This is very important, and I encourage you to have a look into this system. Why? Because it will help you to make sure that your colleagues are focusing only on core tasks. Otherwise, obviously, as you'll see later on, there are dozens of buttons per page, so it can start to be quite complex if you're not restricting this. So now let's go into the forms. InvestGlass Forms will help you to collect information from websites, but also to completely digitalize account opening forms, KYC reviews, with, I believe today, the most sophisticated and the most, I would say, complex, but also just made for our world of banking, okay? We have 5 banks using this currently to fully digitalize the full package of their documents. Some of those banks have 10 documents. The biggest one has 100 documents fully digitalized. And as I would say, le diable est dans les détails. The details into how you are actually going to build those forms is quite impressive today, as InvestGlass will help you to blend elements of logics, points, digital signature, but also LaTeX, to make sure that the quality of the print of this form will exactly match your existing account opening system. And trust me, it's unbelievable how nice it looks like on a PDF format. The system will help you to organize also hierarchies, so what we call childs and mother fields. So if you have an account and multiple beneficial owners or limited power of attorney, InvestGlass has the full logic system that is very easy to use, and you will receive the pre-built templates to facilitate those account sets creation. What you will also appreciate is that as InvestGlass is directly connected to the CRM, so where you actually store information, if you call back this form, the fields will be pre-populated with each record at the right place. And this will help your clients to save a lot of time when they need to sign multiple documents. Here is to show you the concept of the risk assessments with preset answers based on the questions that you ask. This is completely customizable, but we already have, I would say, FINSA, FINMA, IMF, and FCA type of questionnaires to help you assess the client risk classification. Here's another example. It's Libre Passage. It's some kind of financial products you have here in Switzerland, where you will invite the new prospect to answer different types of questions, answers, and sign the document then and go for execution of this contract. The signature system obviously is available within InvestGlass, but we work also with people and companies of like Connective in Europe, HelloSign, DocuSign, and in Switzerland with Signati, Sysmosoft, and Swisscom. It's very easy to connect them into InvestGlass. And obviously, I haven't talked about the name check KYCs, but we also work with a dozen vendors from OnFido, CDDS, and different types of vendors, LexisNexis, WorldCheck. So it's very easy for us to help you connect the dots. So once the account opening process is good to go, we are starting what we call an approval rule or an approval chain. So this is extremely important. They are fully customizable, and we help you to actually assess the account opening based on rules, based on roles, and based on logics, right? Here it's some example. So I'm going to do here an account opening approval. I can select which team is going to be part of this approval process. Also, I can use chains, which are very interesting because this will help you to do a series or parallel type of approval. Very important for when you want to speed up the KYC reviews and you have large teams, right? And obviously, the system is extremely rich because you can apply this with conditions, logic, send different types of notifications, select the type of approval rules. So it's a bit like your own democracy system. And you can also show recall and reassign buttons, which I'll show you later on. And at the end of the process, send messages or send notifications with pre-built templates. This is one of the example here where you'll find into this notification bell that you have an approval to accept or reject. As you find here also, we built the recall and the reassign. Recall means you want to stop the process. Reassign means you want to assign someone else of your team, and I'll do it. So that's important if you have a team of multiple people reviewing the account opening process and you want to notify your colleagues that you will do it. So with this type of system and the pre-built templates of InvestGlass, you'll save a lot of time into the account opening process. Obviously, once you've done this account opening process, there's also the annual KYC reviews, which you can see from the audit page with some warnings that will show you which fields are missing or which fields will need an actual review. To build this and this system of review, you need to go to the automation system. So let me show you. I don't know why I haven't opened it yet. So these are the type of rules that you'll have into your system. They are in French and in English. Here is just an example from name check, from revenue change, from age check, from change of wealth, change of PEP warning. All those elements can be customized from this page, which is the automation. And this is extremely important because this system will actually help you to save a lot of times into the review. And let me show you how it looks like inside. So here you have the possibility to use this automation with different types of objects. It works also with your own external IDs and your own external databases. When you want to execute a rule, the rule can also match different types of fields. And obviously, the system will look into all the fields of your CRM. And you can add different conditions and add also multiple conditions into the rules, right? Once you've done that, you want to produce an outcome. And this outcome can be sending an email, create a record, update a record, notification, task, trigger. All that elements are quite interesting. And obviously, we have already the presets of those rules. So it will be very easy for you just to play with them and adapt them for your process. And again, you will find some audit pages that will help you to figure out what is missing or what type of transactions or what types of KYC or accounts should be reviewed. Now, inside the CRM, InvestGlass offers different types of pages that you can customize in the navigation menu. So obviously the look and feel of your InvestGlass currently looks different from mine. That's the whole purpose, to make sure that each of your colleagues will focus on the tasks that are the most important for their day-to-day project. Now, there are different ways of visualizing the data with InvestGlass. For example, here, contacts. You can have the grid, which is a fantastic way to filter the information based on different columns that you would add. Now, obviously, as here we're talking about building a bank in 30 minutes, how do you implement this on 100 or 200 employees? Well, with the usage of this add template system. So here, I can create a new template and share my templates with my colleagues, just adding the columns and creating a new template. And this is how you can actually share the same setup for all your colleagues at once. But this page can also be seen as a calendar to look, for example, at the KYC reviews, the anniversaries, and these types of meetings, and also the Kanban view, which is very helpful if you wish to establish a lifecycle management. So here you see this is what we call a pipeline with different steps. On each different steps, you can have a different value and a probability of success. And simply here, you can drag and drop the different prospects and clients based on the different stages. Obviously, those pipelines are also connected into the automation that we previously seen, which means that if you want the machine to do the job of moving your prospect from one stage, to another stage, let the machine do it, right? You have multiple cycles also and multiple pipelines that you can review, and you can export at any time those pipeline if you wish to read them on a paper. This is how it looks inside the actual CRM view of a user. You will find the key information, the tags, the pipelines, and the portfolios. InvestGlass improved a lot the concept of portfolios and accounts. In most of your banking systems, you have this type of hierarchy. One contact share a relation. So, for example, a family, a company, a trust, and they are linked with a relation. Above them, they have an account, and this account could also link to other relationships. If you want to know more about the way the database and the tables are working, please contact us for that, because it will be very important when you import your data inside InvestGlass the first time that you follow correctly your own path. I mean, you don't need to follow InvestGlass path, but it's easier, obviously, but you have to put it into the format that is your format and keep it this way, at least for the tables together, right? So this is the CRM with the activity summary, the detail of the CRM, the suitability, consolidation, documents with the different types of options. We won't have time to talk about this today, but here you have different options to submit the approvals, share the documents, but also merge multiple documents together. Once you have, for example, a dozen or 40 documents, 40 PDF, and you just want to have one single signature, right? So this is how the CRM looks like, and you will find here the different types of trigger button. Email will trigger your Outlook. Here you'll trigger your Skype or your Jabber Cisco or your Teams or Aircall to send directly a phone call from InvestGlass. Now, the portfolio, the PMS system looks like this. It's highly customizable. And in most cases, we work with other type of PMS, usually PMS specialists, portfolio management specialists, that will bring data into InvestGlass as we'll call a dump, okay? But the big usage of InvestGlass, obviously, is to have the system customizable as much as you want to reflect the information as you wish to be reflected for you and your clients. Now, when we're talking about setting up customizations and your own bank layout, obviously, you have the possibility to change all your setups, your logos, and the different types of credentials here from this page, I'll show you the different types of options. To make sure that the experience, I'm logged out, okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, that's the actual, that's a good sign. I see there are a few of you here working in the risk. To be log off during a presentation means that the automatic log off works well. Right, so let me just log in again. Okay. Right, it's going to work now. Okay, so we were talking about the customization. So all you see on the screen can be fully customizable. And because we have an API, you can even build with InvestGlass your own app on your iPhone, on your tablet, or on any type of device. In terms of security and passwords, as you see here on the screen, we have multiple options from complexities to lockout periods, to 2FA, two-factor authentication. The same for email and reset password. We have different types of customization to help you on that place. Then obviously a good system, a good Swiss cloud series system would not be efficient without an API. So we have with InvestGlass an API which expose different endpoints. There are other endpoints that are privately used. This is the public one that can be connected to any type of system like Zapier, MuleSoft, or any type of bridge Postman that you would have. So this gives you, I would say, an overview of InvestGlass. Obviously, the platform customization is endless, but what is important is to make sure that your team is going to work efficiently. Now, let me just finish this presentation with the support and resources. So if you have any questions, you can go to our knowledge help desk on help.investglass.com. On help.investglass.com, you'll find the guides, the knowledge center, as well as many videos. I think we have hours of videos that you can find on this website as well as on YouTube. You can send us email 24/7 at contact@investglass.com. And also we run those webinars each week. So if you have any questions, if you have any focus you would love to have a video about, just write us on contact@investglass.com. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough and this transparent walkthrough of investglass.com. Our objective is to make your work faster and easier, and we help you with those templates to speed up the build of your own bank and your own asset management. With that being said, I wish you a fantastic day and a fantastic weekend, and I look forward to hearing from you next week. Bye now.